Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Quest XI. So last time we headed into Angri-La, there we go. We headed into Angri-La where we met up with the High Llama who apparently knows of someone who is known to us, basically. One of our partners has basically been training here under Grandmaster Pang, and so we have to try and find out where the fuck they are. But the first place we're in is we're basically in this we're in this place which is kind of like the temple's kind of training area. And basically, what this place basically is, or basically, once we get past this story section, it basically... Oh my god. It's the naughty stick. But yeah, so this basically becomes like a arena that you can come to. There are basically like multiple levels that you can come up through, and basically the faster you complete it, the better, the higher your score, the more kind of... the better the item you can kind of get from them, and basically as you go through the second third of the game, basically more stuff unlocks as you kind of level up. It is kind of a good place to get some really cool loot. Like, I know there's sorry, I know at the very least there's like a recipe book that you can get, which creates some really powerful weapons. So it's well worth coming here to do all of the challenges. I think I show one of them off after we've found our next partner here in Angri-La. But that's kind of it, really. I kind of need to get going, kid. I need to save the world.
But in this respect, at least, we can provide.
So yeah, it wants to hold basically a feast in our honor to kind of to celebrate us surviving, and it's also let us know that our old grandfather Rob is survived. Although we kind of already knew that with his we saw his story, didn't we? We saw his side story. But hopefully we'll be able to see him pretty soon. I wonder if we will. So yeah, so we've rested. It's time for us to leave because, you know, they can't really help us much anymore with saving the world from Mordegon. So it's time for us to get the fuck out. We need to continue forward, and nothing's going to get in our way. You've got a pink thing above your head. Okay. It's waiting for us outside. But apparently there's... voices outside. What's going on?
What news of him?
The hermit?
Your Holiness, the monsters on the mountain path were too strong. We were unable to reach him.
So apparently there's a hermit sitting atop this mountain path. I wonder who the fuck that is.
Is there a problem?
Because we will help, because that's kind of our job.
There is. You see, 2 weeks ago a hermit visited us, unannounced. Then just as suddenly departed for the top of the mountain.
Okay.
Whatever for?
That I do not know. The moment he heard that Master Pang had passed away, he ran from the temple. He was last seen climbing the path to the summit.
So yeah, apparently this guy, once he heard of Master Pang's, Grandmaster Pang's passing, basically went immediately for the top of the mountain.
It is a perilous place.
So yeah, we've got to. So they want to check to make sure that the guy's okay, but apparently it's now full of perilous. It's very perilous because of all the monsters that have spawned since the since Mordegon took over.
Such as this. And yet I have failed
So
in my
therefore,
first
what he wants
duty.
us to
I have brought shame upon angry
what he wants us to do is basically
Might we
head
be
up
able
there
to
and
offer some
see
assistance?
how if
I thank
he's
you for your
alright and try and
kindness,
bring him
but
back
you
if
are
necessary.
guessing. I cannot ask you to undertake such a dangerous task.
A knight of Heliodor
I mean,
does
he's
not
got a
abandon
point.
an innocent
I-
in need.
Fuck.
These people have shown us great kindness. It is only right that we do them a kindness.
You're not a knight of Heliodor anymore, Hendrik.
Would you not agree?
Thank you.
Of
for
course,
the
this is
bottom
one of
my
those
heart.
but thou must
I
situations
cannot
where
allow
whichever
you
one
to
you
bear
pick.
this burden alone.
I think if you pick no, then Hendrik kind of scolds you for it and calls you a bit of an
We must
arse.
depart from the summit
So,
of Mount Panglar
Not
without
exactly, I
delay.
guess, but you know,
After
he calls you
exiting the temple, we will take the path
something
to
in
the
that
east
in that
order to
vein.
begin our ascent.
And so, yeah, we have to help him out. That's the next stage of our journey. But before we go, if we go down to the second floor, you will find this dude. This dude has a side quest for you. Basically, he wants you to kill a particular monster with a certain pep power. You defeat him, you get the Mystic. The Mystic is basically an accessory which I think boosts... I'm trying to remember. I think it boosts magical power, so I think it boosts like magical mending and magical might, from what I remember. Yeah, this is the monster that we have to face off against. There's plenty of them that you can find as you go along the... If you go back along to how we got up to this place, there's plenty of these giant dragons all over the place. So yeah, he wants us to use Blaze of Glory. So what you want to do first, get him down to... Oh, with this one it's not a problem. So basically, just use it and it basically... attack and defense gets increased significantly. And then just attack him once you've activated it. See, that's with our increased defense as well. So yeah, but get him down to orange health in advance and you'll be able to defeat him pretty easily. Yeah, so once you've done that, head back up to him and complete the quest. Like I say, it's really easy to find those creatures, and it's just about basically waiting, you know, guarding, getting down to orange health, guard, keep guarding and keep guarding until you've got enough pep power for both of you, and then just activate it, defeat him. Pretty easy. And we get the Mystic. I can't remember if I show off what the Mystic does. I don't. But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure it does something to magical power. Right then, so now we're going to head to the mountain pass. Basically, we just head out, take a left, and it's right next to us. So yeah, it's pretty easy to find. It's also worth. So the monsters that you face off against here are... I don't think there's anything that you've not faced before. We've got some grey dragons. We've got these dragon riders, and we've also got the horse enemies which shoot fire. Basically, none of them are that hard, as you can see. You know, it's nothing that you've not faced before, so it's kind of not worth... Again, like I say, you have to defeat the gold dragon rider in order to continue up the mountain path. But other than that, there's not really a point, as I've said before, there's not really a point in fighting a lot of enemies and level grinding at this point, because you haven't got everybody back, and so you don't want to... like Hendrik and the hero to be significantly higher than the other enemies that you find. Sorcerer's Ring, that increased magical mending and magical might, I think by quite a considerable distance, so it's kind of it's pretty useful to have. To be fair, actually, in this area as well, because you've got these giant grey dragons, you can actually do a decent amount of grinding for later on, if you really want to. But to be honest, there's not really much of a point in coming in here to do it, because you can fight the boreal serpents on the mountain path, and they are, it's much easier to get to, and they deal quite a bit of experience points. So, but you can come in here and do a bit of grinding if you want. But like I say, no point until we get the whole party back, really. Looks kind of thin. I wonder who that is. Okay. So yeah, now we can... Do I bother? Yeah, I do. Always best to go to every fireplace that you can go to, or every campsite, so you got a lot of zoom locations. A set of Grandmaster's garb. The Grandmaster's garb is really, really useful. It's a really good set of armor for Rob when we get him back.
Unfortunately so. He was in deep meditation when he breathed his last. I am glad at least that he was prepared to meet his fate.
Apparently he's passed away.
But that posture, it is awful. Uniquely awful. I know it.
I like that. It's uniquely awful. Yep. Rob's gone on a bit of a crash diet.
Incredible.
I love this reaction from Hendrik.
One of the Ogler's Digest, and in mint condition.
Huh? I love the look that the Grand Llama kind of gives him. Kind of that look of, are you fucking serious, dude? I love this from Hendrik. Because it's just so out of nowhere, you wouldn't expect it. Yeah, nipples. You wouldn't expect him to be into the Ogler's Digest. But it is kind of fun. I don't know. I just really like that. It's pretty funny.
Can it really be?
So out of character for him.
Lord Robert!
So yep, it's Rob. And he's gone on a bit of a diet. His nose is red as well.
Your grandfather was Master Pang's most fervent disciple. Can he have chosen to follow his mentor to the next life, perhaps?
No, he is still
I don't think so.
breathing.
What?
Yep. Guy's still alive.
His spirit hovers in the place between life and death. It is only a matter of time before he passes the
Yeah,
point
which is
of
what we
no
saw
return.
when we did his
there may
side
yet
story.
be a way
And basically
to
this kind of
save him.
explains
If you were
where
to
he
follow him
was
into the
during
void, you might be able to
the
bring
whole
him
side
back.
story. That basically he found out about Grandmaster Pang's death,
Is this even possible?
and went up onto the mountain to kind of
Ancient teachings tell us that the
meditate
summit
so
of
that
Mount
he could
Pang
go and
stands
find
at the
Grandmaster Pang to get his
crossroads
special
between this
training,
world and the
so that
next.
he could
If you
go
are
and defeat
permitted, I
Mordegon.
can perform an ancient rite that will send you to the place between worlds.
So yeah,
But it is not a decision
so guess who's got to go
taken lightly.
to bring the
Once entered,
old fuck
there is
back.
no guarantee of return.
It's going to be up to me again.
Will you take that chance? Will you visit the void and bring Lord Robert back to us?
Fuck
Very
off.
well.
No,
I will
seriously.
prepare for the ritual.
Again,
Tell me
it's a
when
but
you
thou
are
must
ready,
situation
and we will
where
begin.
it's kind of like, you want to continue the story, then you're going to have to go and bring Lord Robert back. So yeah, talk to him and you'll
It is
enter into the
time to
void.
depart for the
I kind of
place
fucked
to
up
which
here.
every soul
So
which
what
view
I
you
would
will
say
return.
you should do before you
It is
enter
time
is
to
basically
perform
make sure that
right.
you are... Because you're going to have to go through a couple of boss fights, one after the other.
What is this?
I love
foolish
Hendrik's little
dance?
look.
What manner of ritual is this?
I love that from Hendrik, but whatever. So yeah, you're going to make sure you've got enough potions. So make sure you've got enough medicine to heal yourself, and you've got enough of the like the sage's water and magic water and stuff like that, so you can replenish your magic and basically replenish your PP. I think that's what it's called. MP, sorry, what the fuck, that's South Park. So yeah, you want to get your MP, something to recover MP, something to recover health, because otherwise you're going to be in a bit of shit, and that kind of happened to me.
Another wandering soul drifts into my domain. Welcome.
And yes, we're greeted by Grandmaster Pang.
Destiny is cruel indeed to send me one so young. This may be a fruitless question, given the vacant expression you wear, but do you know what fate awaits you here? Oh,
Yeah, whichever way you answer,
fool.
whichever way you answer, it doesn't really matter. It just kind of slightly changes the dialogue a little bit.
Me unburden of at least a little of your ignorance.
But you know, if you say yes, I don't think she gives you the explanation. Because you say no, then you get to an explanation as to what this place is.
As you see, this world is a blank slate. It is a place.
It is a place of nothingness.
Before Yggdrasil fell, departed souls would come here before returning to the world.
So yeah, this is basically the place where people who died would go before they were then passed on to the world tree. But since the world tree is no more, it's basically a dead end. This is basically now the place where everybody who dies, they kind of stay here for a little while, and then their soul dissipates and gets lost to the void forever, so they can never be reborn. It's kind of depressing, considering how many people have must have died since the Lord of Shadows took over. So yeah, there's so many people who've just, you know, their souls have dissipated to be, you know, lost forever. It's very, very sad.
Or do you cling to the vain hope that the heart of Yggdrasil may be recovered from Mordegon's clutches? If you do, you are a fool. And yet,
I like to think that I'm optimistic.
You will not be alone in your foolishness. There are others who refuse to accept that all is lost.
Yeah, my
Some people
dumbass
just
grandfather.
to give up.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting actually that basically this place looks exactly the same as the one in the that we saw in the temple. So it's kind of cool that they basically mimic the design. But anyway, that's going to be it for this part. Join me next time when we'll be meeting up with Raab, and we've got a couple of boss fights to go through to prove our worth before we can get Raab out of here and head off and start to fight the Lord of Shadows. So yeah, see you next time.